What is going on, everyone? So today I'm going to be showing you my mono fighting list. So this is a list that we've been using for a little while now, and the fact that André Castela, which is one of the best Himo players right now in the current format, he was able to do really well this summer with his list. I think it's time for us to show our list. So our list has a couple of differences between his list. I'm definitely going to be posting his list below, and throughout these last couple of weeks, we actually have asked Castela for some tips in our list over and over. We haven't shown him our complete list, but we've seen his list and we've asked about a couple of questions that we had about the list. And I think we were finally ready to show it, and with his help and a couple of other people in the community, as well as Team Momo Milk, we were able to make this list come true. And the real reason why I really wanted to make this list happen was because, again, I'm a huge fan of Phalanx, so I wanted to bring something that was a little orthodox, but at the same time very competitive. Okay, so let's get right to it. So the first thing that we have to talk about is the Hitmo Bros. Okay, so we have Hitmo-chan, Hitmonlee, and Hitmontop. Now, unfortunately, this is the only non-reverse that I have, non-reverse holo. I actually have it, but I let a friend borrow it, so he should be bringing it soon. But I was really excited to showcase the deck. So I guess non-reverse holo. It's the way to go. So what do these guys do? Basically, it's a combo sort of lineup where you attack with Hitmonchan, followed by Hitmonlee and Hitmontop, and each attack gets stronger and stronger. Now this is a deck that has been used for the community for a while now, and with not a lot of luck. So Okidogi was one of those cards that really brought the deck together. But I think more and more people are starting to understand better on how to play the deck. Because a lot of times when we have Pokemon in our hand, it's very common that we want to place them in our bench, right? It's just a feeling of something that, we have to do. But the more and more you play this deck specifically, you'll notice that sometimes you really don't want to bench your combo pieces because they can get boss order, or they could get Guzma, or they could get KO'd, or even worse, they could get banished into the Lost Zone. So we really want to keep those in our hand or in our decks, and we have a lot of really good tools to bring them back into the active or into the field the following turn and then actually perform the combo. Okay, so this is something that before this was your winning condition, but now we have other strategies in the deck, so they basically serve as not only the main condition, but also sort of like a decoy sort of goal in the deck, right? So it serves us both, but it's not the main winning condition. Okay, so you definitely want to play these guys. You also want to play the Machamp, Machoke, and Mashop. So the Machamp lineup is really nice because so this Machoke actually prevents all damage done to your bench Pokemon. So in this current format, is something that we really need to have. And for the Machamp, it's a great card to have. It's another boss monster that could get up to 300 HP. It could do around 200 damage, which is insane. And keep in mind, in the current meta, we have cards. We have cards like the new Joltik coming out that's gonna make Electric very strong, or I should say stronger. We have Colorless as well as Darkness, which are really good decks. So hitting for 400 is just ridiculous. So definitely a card that I recommend you play. And then we have our Lucario, or our Revenge Lucario. So the fact that if we get something KO'd, which we probably will, because a lot of our Hitmo lineup, it's probably going to get KO'd every once in a while. If not all the time, then we can get that Lucario to hit for 150 for only 1 damage, 1 energy, which is amazing. And then we play the basics. So our basic Pokemon is Okidogi, or I should say our non-evolution Pokemon. So our Okidogi, which is the boss monster of the deck, the real boss monster of the deck. Your opponent has to always be worried about this card. This card can win games by himself. So a very nice card, definitely play it. There's multiple ways to play him multiple times throughout the game. So definitely a really strong card. We play the Halusha. So for the longest time, we didn't want to play the Halusha because we just didn't feel that it was impactful. But after some feedback, some constructive feedback, and some games that we were able to watch, we noticed how strong Halusha could be in the game. Because putting that extra damage into your opponent's board to then do that 60 damage with him on top sometimes fixes those numbers, and it even fixes certain numbers with whenever you get an attack with Machamp or you get an attack with Lucario. So very, very nice, or even the Okidogi. So sometimes that extra 10 or that extra 20 is, it's enough. And then the whole reason why we were playing the deck is this Phalanx. So this is our tech card. It's one of my, this is one of my favorite Pokemon. So this is what I'm playing in my list. So we have the Cliff Edge Formation attack, and what it does is if your opponent has exactly one prize card remaining, this attack does 160 more damage, which is crazy. It's a card that you can get with level ball. It's a basic that you can get again and again, and it's really cool because it has an attack headbutt for 30. So if you play Muscle Band or you play Strong Energy, you're basically in a lot of the meta matchups, you're doing 100 damage by himself just being in the active. So it's really, really strong. I enjoyed it. You could also put things like Focus Sash on him at the end of the game, and it could easily win you the game because it's definitely not going to get KO because of the Focus Sash. There's also multiple ways to get the Focus Sash, or I should say there's at least one way to get the Focus Sash, which is Lana's Rod. So you can get this guy plus Focus Sash again after it was used at the early in the game. Okay, so this is my tech card. It's been a lot of fun. You could definitely switch it up for something that's maybe more conventional, but this is what I really enjoyed, and it's the whole reason why I built the deck. Okay, so here we go. As for the supporters, I'm a huge fan. For those who know me, you know that I'm a huge fan of Apricorn Maker and Ball Guy. And obviously in this deck we have Karina. So the reason why we play Apricorn Maker is because there's been a lot of games where I feel like Hisuian Heavy Ball in this specific build is very, very essential because you want to have those combo pieces. So having multiple cards that can search that Hisuian Heavy Ball again and again become really strong in this build. So this is not something that gets played in any deck really. But anytime that I have a deck that has multiple Pokeballs, I really like to add it into the deck. So again, I've used it. It's been working for me. If you prefer something else, definitely check other people's list, and I'm sure they'll probably have something stronger. But for my playstyle and what I like to play and consistently how I like to play the game, this deck specifically, I've enjoyed both Ball Guy and Maker. Obviously Karina is the best card in fighting, so you definitely want to play her. We have Guzma and Hala. We also have Guzma by himself, and we have Birdkeeper. So these cards are cards that are gonna allow us to keep the pressure moving on into the game. So definitely cards that I recommend. And again, it's either cards that are extremely aggressive, or they also keep the momentum of our hand in play all the time. So I definitely recommend them. They've been really, really nice in multiple scenarios at multiple matchups. We also have our drawing supporters. So we have our Marnie, we have our Cynthia, and we have our Professor's Research. Fighting doesn't really have a lot of support Pokemon, so we always want to have that hand full. So this is we don't really need to get really into what these cards do. They just basically give you more cards, and it's just more consistent. As for our supporters, so our supporters, Jesus, Clara, Lucamine, and Raihan. It's a little scary whenever we get these supporters earlier in the game, but they're strong enough where you definitely want to have them mid to late game. So that's the one thing that I would say about these cards, especially whenever we're talking about your stadiums, and again getting cards like Raihan, which is incredibly strong, or getting that Marnie to interrupt, or even getting that Guzma because we don't play boss order in this turn in this deck. So definitely cards that you really want to have, and so far they've been working really well for me. And then we have some of the newer cards, and these are some of the tech choices that I've picked. So I've had Arven is obviously a must. It's one of the best supporter, if not the best supporter in the game right now. We have Colress Tenacity because again we want to get those special energies for Phalanx, for example, for the counter energy, or we want to get that strong energy for Phalanx at the beginning of the game, or we want to get that card that we need to get the Okie Dokie going. So it just has so many other implications in the card, and it gets us so many other routes that it's a really nice card to have. It's definitely the newest edition because it just came out. So again, it's one of those cards that could change in the future. We have Penny, and again, Penny is one of those cards that I started testing. I didn't really enjoy, and then the more and more I understood how to play the card, the more I enjoyed it, and so far it's been great. Bringing back that Okie Dokie, bringing back sometimes those Hipmoso, or even that Halusha to add additional damage, it's just been great. Playing 3 supporter cards or I should say 4 supporter cards in fighting is very scary, but luckily enough we have enough supporters where you shouldn't always just see one card in hand, and you're applying enough pressure where you won't really need a supporter each turn. So that's really nice. So that's it for the supporters. This is the list that I've been playing for the last couple of months. Obviously the Colress is a new addition. We were playing Avery before, so we're still testing it. I'm gonna be posting a link to this list in the description, as well as Castela's list in the description, so you guys could see it. And you can see how every week the deck will obviously change, or maybe not every week because we have other stuff to do, but maybe every month or so it's gonna get updated, so you can see how we updated the list. So that's something that I'm gonna try to do at every single other deck profile, so that you guys can see, a lot of times you guys ask, hey, I just saw this, but this video was, from 6 months ago. Is there like a recent build? That way you guys can click it and see, what's the update on this list, right? So that way we don't have to always just keep coming back and making the same list over and over again with a couple of changes. It's there in YouTube, and now you have an updated link where you can log in every now and then to see how we updated the list. So I hope you guys enjoy that. As for the items, we have Nest Ball, Swing Heavy Ball, Level Ball, Ultra Ball, Quick Ball, Timer Ball, and then we play Team Maximus Great Ball, which is basically it's another card that gets you an energy, but it just comes in clutch. The fact that we play Apricorn Maker and we play Ball Guy, it just adds consistency, and sometimes we're missing that energy, and our Professor's Letter is in our prices, so we want to have another card that can get us into an energy, and a lot of times that energy is it's a big factor into the rest of the game. So that's why we play it. Other cards, we have Versus Seeker, which is obviously a must. Rescue Stretcher. So there is the new Night Stretchers. We've tested it. There's been games where Rescue Stretcher has been better. There's been games where Night Stretcher has been better. So this is just a card that is going to change again and again and again and again. There's probably really good reasons on when to play which one, or if one is better than the other. But the reality is that they're both really good in their specific own ways. So I don't think there's a good debate on one being always better than the other one. And again, it also depends on the matchup, or exactly what happened that turn, or just the situation. But I'm definitely right now I am switching back and forth to see which one is better, and I've enjoyed both of them equally the same. So we'll see what happens in the future. We have Scoop Up Net, Fuel Blower, Escape Rope, Trainer Smell. These are all cards that you guys should know by now what they do. If not, definitely check them out. A Scoop Up Nut is another card that we use for the Halusha, or just to save some of our hit modes to make up space or our Okidogi so that it doesn't get KO. So it has multiple applications. We have Professor's Letter for consistency, Adventure Bag for consistency, Pokegear, and then we have some of the tools that we play in this list. So we have Floatstone, we have U-Turn Board, we have Focus Sash, Muscle Band, and De-Evolution TM. Very, very nice cards. Every tool just has been amazing. I can't complain on any of them. We also have Lily's Pokédoll and Lana's Fishing Rod. So again, these are cards that we've tested. Shout outs to Castela for the De-Evolution tech. It's been a card that he played in his list, and we started playing as well, and we really enjoyed it. There's also another card that he recommended that has been really nice in the list, so shout outs to him. So for the stadiums trainer, we play Trainer's Court. So this is the edition that we took from his list as well. So these two cards are big additions that I have to say that I took directly from his builds. So shout outs to him. He's a great player. Great card. We also have Brooklyn Hill, and we play Silent Lab. Learn to know how to use Silent Lab, because again, remember that it can affect your Okidogi, so you just learn how to use it. And then as for the energies, we play 4 basic energies, only 4, but then we play 4 special energies. So we play Strong Energy, which is amazing. Our Counter Energy just keeps us in the game, as well as Rainbow Energy and Unit Energy. The reason why we play Rainbow Energy is because in a lot of our games, sometimes discarding that one card was the difference between the game. So so far that extra damage counter hasn't really played a major role in any of my games. It might in the future, but it hasn't now. So I've really enjoyed this one instead of the one that discards a card from your hand. So that's it. That's basically the deck. I really hope that you guys enjoy the list. It's my own personal list. Obviously, we've been looking at other people's lists and try to just take ideas here and there. I think Himmos is again one of those decks that's been played since the beginning of GLC, so it's really nice to see how it has evolved. As for us, we really hope that we get a new Phalanx. I speak for myself when I say I can't wait to get a stronger Phalanx, as time goes on. What's cool about this card is that you're not only, like I said, you're not only leaving it for the end of the game. You could play it early in the game with either Muscle Band, or you could get Strong Energy and Muscle Band, and that's 40, that's 30 right there, so that's 70. If you're hitting things in the meta, you could be doing for one energy 140, and sometimes I've won games just by doing that, which is really cool. So it's pretty nice. It's another target that you could use with with De-Evolution. So sometimes you really want this card to just get KO, or you don't want to use De-Evolution on any other Pokemon that you know it's gonna get KO at the end. So you might use it as a De-Evolution Pokemon to get that attack rolling and get some KOs. So definitely a really nice card to have. It has multiple purposes. Literally early, mid, and late, right? So you could put early pressure with Headbutt, mid pressure with De-Evolution, and then late pressure with Cliff Edge Formation. So that's just, again, there's other things that you could do, but again, we're already at the 20 minutes mark, so I'm just giving you like a quick review. All right, so I hope you guys enjoy the video. If you guys have any other suggestions, or you guys have questions, please let us know in the comments below. And again, we're gonna try to keep uploading newer videos, and we're gonna try to do a video from one person in the community, and then one of our own videos, and then so on and so forth. Okay, or if not, we'll just have a build from someone in the community and just fix a couple of things that we think it's personally better, and then add their list at the bottom. Okay, so again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys later.